Welcome to the run-in on BT Sport, where we have just about digested everything that happened in St. Louis at the Royal Rumble, and now we are taking a detour on the way to WrestleMania. And yes, that means I'm talking about WWE Elimination Chamber. Later in the show, we'll be talking to the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, ahead of his chamber match for the WWE title. But for now, I am of course joined by one half of the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Trent Seven. Trent, how are you? That was
very
an
well,
excellent
thank you very
swing,
much.
an excellent spin.
Thank you. I'm getting good at it.
Yeah.
I bought myself a swivel chair just so I could practice at home.
Yeah, we used to sit on stools, of course, or solid chairs, but now we have to, at the request of Trent, in his rider, have to have spinning chairs.
Yeah, it's a detailed rider. How are you?
Yes, excellent.
How was St. Louis? Talk to me.
Very cold, -17.
Okay, casual.
My cheeks were very cold. These ones, not those ones.
Excellent.
But yeah, excellent fun Rumble. How did you find it?
I was very enthused, very excited and very motivated by the Rumble. It's that time of year, isn't it? Like we always say, things start to really bubble, and I think there's a lot of key moments that we can take out of this Royal Rumble that are going to start to kind of like etch that path towards the WrestleMania final cards.
Your highlight of the night?
Okay, I'm a big fan of Brock Lesnar, so obviously, you know, seeing Brock Lesnar's little pathway through the Royal Rumble, I think that's great. I think it's kind of everything. I think it's everything that I wanted as a fan, and as far as a performer, it's everything that you want to see. You want to see the two best performers in the world, main event WrestleMania. So, fingers crossed, everything stays as it is, and we get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
The big match at the beginning, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, for me,
wow.
Other than Johnny Knoxville, which, by the way,
Knoxville's
was unbelievable.
Excellent.
How stiff was he throwing
excellent.
those punches as well?
Wonderful stuff.
He really backed himself for a minute.
He did. He threw it with all of his 12 stones of body weight. It was impressive. I was very excited. I thought the Rumble was great. I thought both Rumbles were really good. Yeah, coming out as the Shield. Oh.
Yeah, Roman v Seth. I was coming out of that. That was
deep.
So good. What a way to start.
It's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
I almost thought it was a bit too much for me. I was a little bit taken aback. I mean, the first thing that took me back was I was just having a nice casual Saturday evening and then realised that the Royal Rumble was on, because it was on a Saturday instead of a Sunday for the first time in the history of the Royal Rumble. So that threw me. And then the first match comes out, and the first entrance is Roman Reigns. So you automatically, I mean, everyone in that stadium, including your good self, must have been absolutely buzzing. And then as soon as that Shield music hits, Sierra Hotel IE, all that, just incredible stuff, incredible.
It was great, and for me, I think that match was my personal highlight, which leads us on to Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns and Goldberg.
Smooth.
Big Billy G is back in the house. That's the official party line, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's actually. Did you get CC'd in that email? Because I think he requested that he get introduced as that.
That's exactly it. You'll be hearing that from the announcer as he comes in from now on. This was meant to happen at WrestleMania 36 when Roman Reigns was just plain old big dog.
Yeah.
A lot has changed since then.
He's more like the young pup when you compare the two faces of, you know, the man now the head of the table to obviously when he was the big dog. But yeah, such a change, such a man.
And you have to feel, especially with the WrestleMania season on the horizon, Roman Reigns goes in as a big favourite. I think WrestleMania 36, maybe we didn't know what way it would go, whether they'd put the title on Goldberg or Roman Reigns, Spear versus Spear, that was the line. But now it's like, okay.
But yeah, so now we get it, Spear versus Spear. Who's going to win? Roman Reigns.
Yep, that's how you think?
Well,
you got to feel like that, especially Roman Reigns is on such a collision course for me.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, as much as, you know, I might say, like, you know, like it's a done deal, there's still the kind of the allure of the match, right? Everyone in the world wants to see Roman Reigns versus Bill Goldberg. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's going to be a great match. It's going to be legendary. And once again, it's another feather in the cap of Roman Reigns' career to have, you know, plowed through Goldberg. So I think he's going to spear him. I think he's going to win. I think it's going to be a Roman Reigns victory. But once again, it'll be a nice little spectacle, a nice little moment, you know, kind of like, you know, trying to echo a little bit of maybe like The Rock versus Hogan type thing, and get that kind of that little dream match that everyone wants to see.
What are we guessing? Like 3 spears each?
Maybe. Or what if Roman Reigns comes out wearing his old clothes, you know, the body armour, and underneath it is some kind of spear shield, a la Bret Hart, and then bam!
A throwback to when he was the young pup big dog.
Wow.
He's going to put the body armour back on, and the shield's going to kill off Goldberg's
There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options we can do here.
We've mentioned that we think that the Brock versus Roman match is the one that it feels like it's been building towards for a long, long time at WrestleMania. Yeah. But with Brock in the chamber match for Bobby Lashley's WWE title, it could still happen. There could be a Goldberg Universal title match. There could be a WWE title
versus
match.
title.
It could be title versus title. There's all sorts of things that could happen. So there's a million ways that match could happen. But yeah, we both think a big Roman Reigns defense.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right, let's move on to the first of the Elimination Chambers, the Women's Elimination Chamber. So far, we've got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH, with one left to be announced.
One wild card unannounced.
So obviously, this is being recorded before the last Raw, before Elimination Chamber. So we don't know. It could have been announced.
Could have already been announced.
But I'm going to throw some names in. I'm going to throw in Asuka. I'm going to throw in a returning Bayley.
Congratulations, Miko Satomura, for wrestling in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, and winning, obviously.
And winning and going to WrestleMania and becoming all the champions of the whole company.
Imagine.
That would be nice.
Because I think that's dream match territory for a lot of people, isn't it?
Arguably, you know, like for the Miko Satomura fan that's kind of watched her, like specifically the latter stages of her career, it wouldn't be unjust. It would be completely and utterly valid for her to actually have that run, but I think an Asuka shout is a very good one.
This is obviously for the shot at Becky's title. Yeah. Becky defending against Lita.
As we now know, Charlotte versus Ronda.
Yeah.
For that one.
So the women's title matches are shaping up for WrestleMania.
Very nice.
I think we know one of them, Ronda and Charlotte. But yeah, Becky and Lita versus the winner of this Elimination Chamber.
Well, to me, that's quite important. That is from when I remember, you know, as a fan, as a youngster, like the whole point of WrestleMania was you did kind of know what was happening, and then you used to tune into Raw and SmackDown and stuff to be like, oh my God, what if it gets messed up? What if it doesn't happen? Do you know what I mean? So like, I like that. I like now that I'm looking at it going, I'm pretty much 100% sure we're going to see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, the third version. You know, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get, well, obviously we're going to get Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Now we know we've got Becky versus one. I like the way it's, you know, it's kind of like a little bit planned out because, you know, then it's time to really like push it. And
so what's this? This is happening on the 19th of February, which gives it 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So you've got a real 6-week build for whatever matches we find out that we've got. It's a long time for things to build up to
absolutely perfect. Love it.
Boiling point.
Love it. Love WrestleMania season.
Nikki ASH. How much did you enjoy that in the Rumble? She's obviously in this Elimination Chamber. Her moment with Molly Holly.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. A clash of the superheroes. We've just seen on Spider-Man, with the 3 Spider-Men entering the multiverse or whatever it's called. This is like a little bit of a WWE Universe moment for that as well, so that was really cool.
And Rhea Ripley's been on a bit of a tear at the moment, and I think obviously had her moment at WrestleMania last year, but still has to have that thing where it really catches fire, and she's got so much talent and so much potential, and she keeps kind of rising, getting to the top, and then kind of petering out a little bit.
Right. An amazing amount of pressure being put on her shoulders, same as Bianca Belair, right? Just really taking women's wrestling and women's professional wrestling just to an absolute another level. And we saw that the payoff was WrestleMania last year, where the 2 girls went out there and just had absolutely incredible quality matches. But yeah, maybe that's just it. You know, the WWE is a long haul. Do you know what I mean? You got to get in here for the long haul. You know, there's people we were literally just talking about, weren't we, that have been here for 5, 10, 15 years, and there's sometimes it bubbles and it looks like it's going to brim over into something absolutely outstanding, but then something else gets in the way. And but that you know, that's entertainment. I suppose that's the way of the world. But she's a badass. There's nothing you can say about it. She's dominant looking. She's dominant in the ring. And I think she's going to have an incredible 20-year career.
As I'm looking at you here, you have an enormous Becky Lynch behind you on that screen, and I'm thinking seeing Bianca in here. Obviously, Bianca Belair in the Elimination Chamber has unfinished business. with Becky.
And it also has multiple options of what could happen inside the chamber. I think Bianca Belair, obviously, versus Becky Lynch, maybe that's the one that they're pushing for. It does kind of feel like that would be the one, specifically with the finish from SummerSlam, right? Last year, so yeah. But then, you know, obviously Becky has to get through Lita.
Well, talking of Lita, we'll be looking at that match after the break, as well as hearing from this guy behind me, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to The Run-In on BT Sport. Now, earlier in the show, we spoke about a dream match in Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, spear versus spear. But also on WWE Elimination Chamber, we have another dream match. We have Becky Lynch versus Lita, the Hall of Famer. Obviously, you've seen Ginny, again, isn't with us today, but she has sent us this. Her views on the Becky Lynch versus Lita match. Let's hear from Ginny.
Guys, I have to say, your outfits are looking a little bit more on point. I appreciate you taking those notes that I gave you for the last run-in. Just because I cannot be in studio doesn't mean that the run-in fashion standards that I have set so high should slip. So let's continue that. But moving on to a match that I didn't see coming. Becky Lynch versus Lita. Just like Becky, I was a huge fan of Lita growing up. I watched her with Trish, main event, Raw, have incredible matches. She's one of the women who laid the foundation for women like Becky Lynch, like Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, and the women in NXT and NXT UK to be able to do what we're doing right now. Becky even said it, without Lita, there would be no Becky Lynch. And it's incredible to see her have, you know, one more run. She said it a little while ago, she had one more run left in her, but I personally thought that what she meant was she'll do the Royal Rumble, she'll kick ass, show why she is a Hall of Famer, and then continue doing whatever she wants to do. I didn't expect to see her challenge Becky for the Raw Women's Championship, and I'm going to be honest, I'm looking forward to this match so much. When you are a wrestler, you don't lose, you know, your wrestling skills, your wrestling ability, but you do get rusty. And for me, I do genuinely see Becky walking out of Elimination Chamber with the title wrapped around her waist still. I do. But I would love to see Lita obviously have one more run like she said. And I'd love to see her take the title from Becky in main event WrestleMania. But for me, I've got to go with Team Becky.
Thank you, Ginny. There we go, a dream match. Becky Lynch versus Lita. Lita hasn't had a singles match for 10 years. 2012 was the last one. Who do you think it was against?
2012, there was probably some kind of intergender. Santino Marella.
Very close, very close. You were on the right lines. Heath Slater.
Ah.
And she won with an assist from a certain John Bradshaw Layfield.
Nice.
Delivering a particularly gruesome-looking clothesline
Was
from hell.
Was he a part of the Acolytes Protection Agency at that point?
He was indeed. And I think there was a number of other legends at ringside. And then Elisa Moonsault, which hopefully we get to see at Elimination Chamber.
I think you're definitely going to see it. I think it's going to be great, you know, and it's once again, it's a little bit similar to the whole Roman Reigns, Bill Goldberg thing. Who doesn't want to see that match? Do you know what I mean? Lita was an absolute legend. She will forever be. And, you know, the incredible things that she did for women's wrestling and for her own career just as a standalone performer are absolutely fantastic. So, obviously, to see her go in there and have a title match with Becky Lynch is going to be great. You know, obviously, 10 years is a long time. So there's definitely going to be some high-quality training montages, I hope.
Yeah. She looked good at the Rumble, though.
She did. She looks incredible. She always has looked incredible.
Becky's described her as her teenage idol, which for Becky to have done as much as she's done, particularly in this last run, she's unbeaten for however long, 3 years, I think, technically. Obviously, had the break in the middle, but to have beaten the people she's beaten, had the moments that she's had, this is probably going to be one of those sort of rare moments where she thinks, oh, wow. Yeah. This is new and incredible.
A little bit starstruck. Those moments are few and far between, so I think she's definitely going to enjoy it, you know, getting in there. But I think it'd have to be, I mean, either me versus Triple H or Shawn.
Would be the equivalent.
Would be kind of like the equivalent. I mean, Or Mustache Mountain versus DX. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe if we did it in Australia, they'd say yes. I don't know. But yeah, it would definitely be something like that. Or even Edge, which could legally happen.
Yeah. You iron him up, get him over to NXT UK.
I've challenged him many a time. He ignored me.
How rude.
No, but
that's the real beef.
We do talk, and he's a very lovely man. I've got a lot of time for him, and he's very supportive. He loves the British boys and loves the UK lot. So I'm a huge Edge fan. So if that could happen, my word.
Right, let's talk about the men's Elimination Chamber now. So we have in the men's Elimination Chamber Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles obviously competing for Bobby Lashley's WWE title. Of course, I've mentioned phenomenal AJ Styles is one of those opponents, and we spoke to him while we were in St. Louis to see how he was feeling ahead of the road to WrestleMania.
Hello, AJ Styles.
I enjoy this. I really do. I get excited still at 44. I get excited about matches and whatnot. It's still fun to me.
When they paired you with Omos, what did you think?
I thought, here's an opportunity for me to help this young monster develop and be something unbelievable one day.
How did you feel about the run that you guys had?
It was exciting at first when we were the tag champs, but then there was a lot of times where we were just kind of spinning our wheels based on, what we were given the parameters in which we could do it. It did make it difficult.
Do you like tag team wrestling or singles for
Singles.
you?
Singles.
You said that very fast.
Singles.
Yeah, why?
Because it's up to me the
Right.
whole time, and I don't have to worry about anybody else except the guy I'm standing in front of.
Okay.
But to bark orders to help, sometimes they hear, sometimes they don't, and I can't. Timing is everything sometimes, and I can't do that for him. He's got to do that for himself. So I was basically a singles wrestler, even though we were in the tag team anyway.
Right. Yes, that's true. Is there one guy left that you haven't worked with yet?
I think we both know who that is.
Yeah, but I like I like for you to
Edge.
say it.
Edge
yeah,
is
that's
that guy.
the one. Yeah.
He's so knowledgeable. He's such a superstar. I would love the opportunity to get in the ring with him.
Has that been something you've been thinking about for a while, or is it just basically a process of elimination? You've been lucky enough to work with everyone. There's one guy left.
Well, there was that time where I thought that there'd never be an opportunity to wrestle
Right.
Edge.
Yeah.
And now it's here. And the time is limited in which we could pull it off. And whether him or I retire first, who knows? But I want to get that match. I desperately want to get that match. I think it's one that most fans would enjoy.
Have you talked to him about it?
100%.
Feeling is mutual?
Yep.
That would
We
be
just got to make
something.
it happen.
Right. And he's looked great. It doesn't look like he's going to stop anytime soon, right?
Heck, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
It could be over tomorrow for
Right.
him or I. So I'd rather get it done as soon as we could.
Thank you, AJ.
AJ Styles there having a personal phone call with his close friend, Trent Seven.
And confidant.
Imagine AJ Styles winning this. He spoke there about his dream match being Edge. Imagine he won this Elimination Chamber and then comes out on Raw, SmackDown, says, Edge, I'm coming for you. Well, no, you come for me now because he has the title.
It's almost the opposite of what I was saying before, where I quite like it when everything's just going in the right direction, because then the derails are the things that make you excited, but this could throw a spanner in the works for me, specifically as a fan. Do you know what I mean? Who doesn't want to see Edge versus AJ Styles? Give him the time, give him everything. 15, 20, 25 minutes to just what a genre defining match that is. Do you reckon? How serious do you reckon he is with that?
I think it's completely serious. I think for someone,
He's got to be.
AJ's
right?
wrestled everyone, right?
Ever.
In every country that exists.
Yeah.
He's got the world's most stamped passport. So he's, if he's got someone that's on his list, right, surely he'll find a way. And to have that at WrestleMania, so if he won this Elimination Chamber match, won the title, challenged Edge, manifesting it,
Yeah,
make it
manifestations.
Because we were talking about Royal Rumble 4, and I said I'd love to see AJ win because he's been
definitely.
on a bit of a tear recently since splitting up from Amos.
Yeah.
So it would be I think that would be an incredible moment. But of course there are other men in this match, one of which being Brock Lesnar, who is coming for Bobby Lashley.
Which arguably may put pay to all of AJ Styles' dreams and hopes. Yes.
I think Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, we finally got it. There was lots of suplexes, but
good, yeah.
Bobby Lashley had the, had the dodgy win. Paul Heyman back on Roman's side.
Yeah,
it does make it very interesting, but you got to think it's an angry Brock Lesnar, which, particularly when he's now wearing dungarees, overalls, and has a ponytail. Angry Brock Lesnar, angry vengeful Brock Lesnar is probably not good to be in front of.
There's just so much going, and now you've obviously got this Heyman thing. Is this a double swerve?
You never know. You never know with Heyman.
Oh, see, this is what makes me so happy about WrestleMania time, because now you're going to have the, everyone's going to be thinking about which side is Heyman going to take. Has he finally definitely gone with Reigns and and then what about the Usos? Can they be paid off? Oh, come on. It's just exciting stuff.
But there's obviously still a Bobby Lashley in that match.
There's a Bobby Lashley in there.
Lashley, who is the champion.
Fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Literally fighting for his life.
In there with Brock and Riddle, by the way, is that the most MMA in one match ever?
Oh, wow. It's the most fighting chamber of all time. It really is.
Yeah, I really wouldn't fancy being Seth.
Or Austin Theory.
Yeah, that's all AJ, to be honest.
That's all right. Lock the doors. Put the plexiglass opens. You're like, I don't want to get in.
Yeah. No, shut that again.
Shut that, thank you very much. My word. But yeah, that's intense, that is.
It's good to see Riddle actually in a match of this stature. It's good to see him in a title match. I think he's had such a rise. Again, we've spoken about people sort of getting there and then going back down again and getting there. And Riddle and Orton are so popular now. And obviously Randy Orton was local to St. Louis. But at the end, after all the lights were done, it was Randy and Riddle walking around, getting all the photos, taking photos of all the kids and the families and stuff, making everyone happy. It's like he's really sort of reached a new level of success and found his place in WWE, probably thanks to Randy, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, he's definitely got Randy to thank for it, but like he made a beeline for Randy. You could see it happening. Like he wanted to prove that he was one of the top performers, and to prove that you're one of the top performers, you got to not necessarily win them over, but you got to prove to these people, the Randy Ortons of this world, that you can hang with them, that you're responsible enough to go, take this and lead this. And he's got there's so much character to Riddle, do you know what I mean? Everything that he comes with just turns to gold, do you know what I mean? He has got that little Midas touch. Everything that he says, the scooters, the snake on the scooter, and the hey Randy teach, like everything just works and everything's great. And I think it's just really connecting with the fans, and I suppose in the essence of sports entertainment, that's what it's all about. So to see Riddle in the Elimination Chamber is really, really cool, really cool.
And if Brock wins this, that is one of the craziest starts to a year. He was put into that day one WWE Championship match last minute after Roman got COVID.
Yeah.
Then lost to Bobby, then won the Rumble, could win it at the Elimination Chamber to lead into a WrestleMania match. That's a very busy 2 or 3 months for Brock.
It's the WWE. Anything can happen. We
Famously.
say it all the time. We say it so famously. But yeah, it's that time of the year when anything does happen and anything can happen. And quite obviously, we've seen the most hectic start, as you say, to the year. I think definitely for one of the main titles. I don't think I've ever seen it kind of like pushed and pulled and grabbed as much. So all I can say is good luck to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
because I think
in the fightingest chamber.
I think he might need it when he's going into the fightingest chamber in the most mental start to a year we've ever seen. So yeah.
All right then. Well, that is all we have time for on today's episode of The Run-In. Before those superstars get into the Elimination Chamber, which of course you can watch on BT Sport Box Office on Saturday the 19th of February at 5 p.m. A nice early one and a Saturday. You can find all the details on how to buy that at www.bt.com/sport box office. My thanks, as always, go to NXT UK Tag Team Champion. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, Trent Seven.
Okay, thank
you. Who you can see defending that title on BT Sport every Friday night.
Side plate check.
Excellent side plates. Until then, enjoy the build-up to Elimination Chamber, and next time we see you, we'll be at WrestleMania Run-In.